All praises is to Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. He neither begets nor begotten. He is the Lord of the worlds, the owner of the day of judgment. O Allah, all praises are for you. You are the light of the heavens and the earth. All praises are for you. You are the keeper of the heavens and the earth. All praises are for you. You are the Lord of the heavens and the earth and whatever is therein. You are the one who we worship and the one we ask for help. You are the best of the disposers and sufficient for us. Ya muqallib al-khulub tabbit qalbi ala dinik. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala ali Sayyidina Muhammadin wa barik wa sallim. Before Allah, let's begin our next session. Hadith पे जो हम focus करना चाह रहे थे. So this session, inshallah, will be the religion. The hadith is called religion is a Naseehah. Naseehah, sincere, जिसको बोलते हैं sincere advice, right? So now before I start, तो मैं पहले hadith सुना देता हूँ, and then we'll talk about what that actually means. On the authority of Tamim al-Dari, the Prophet ﷺ said, religion is a Naseehah. We said, to whom? The Prophet said, ﷺ said, to Allah and His book, His messenger, and to the leaders of the Muslims and their common folk. All right. Now in Surah Muslim, in Surah Tawbah, ayat number 91, it says, when they are sincere to Allah and His messenger. So sincerity plays a very important role in Islam. Iska background hai कि this hadith is actually encompasses the whole religion as a whole, right? Giving good advice and counsel is a job that is given to all the prophets and the messengers who have gone by. Their main focus was to give Naseehah to our people, right? Now, Naseehah encompasses many other aspects. So I want to ask in the group here, आप लोगों के हिसाब से नसीहा में क्या क्या आता? सब लोग म्यूट है अभी.
मैं अनम्यूट करा मगर मैं आई एम वेटिंग फॉर अदर्स पीपल टू respond.
नसीहा में क्या क्या आता? What, according to you, what does nasiha actually mean? In your words. I don't want anybody's just simple words in your language.
Salam taha.
Wa alaikum salam.
Naseehah means advice.
Okay.
Giving advice to someone.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. Anybody else? Nasin bhai, Shakil bhai, Baba, Rizwan bhai?
Yeah, so what our brother said, that's correct. Naseehah is the advice. So we consider our religion as an advice with his book, with all the teachings which has been provided to us from our Prophet. The Quran.
Okay, perfect. So Naseehah actually has, अगर हम Naseehah समझने बैठे तो the Naseehah, the word Naseehah comes from the root word Noon Sa Ha, which has 5 parts to it. एक है purity, एक है genuinity, unmixed, so being unbiased, sincere acts, sincere advice, and being faithful, right? So her aspect of this part comes into play here. Now the first part we're going to talk about is Naseehah to Allah. Now I'm not saying Naseehah from Allah, I am saying Naseehah to Allah, right? So यहाँ पे क्या हो गया? The aspects that are coming to play here are being faithful, being sincere, being pure, and being genuine, right? Naseehah to Allah basically means believing in the oneness of Allah, obviously, the faith, the Iman, believing in His attributes, which we all very clearly know, obeying Him and abstaining from forbidden, right? Now, हम जो बात करते हैं तक़वे की, तवक्कुल की, ईमान की, Naseehah comes into play in the same line. You're basically being faithful to Allah. आप कुछ भी अल्लाह से आपके लाइफ में जो भी हो रहा, अल्लाह अल्लाह नोज इट. सो आपके दिल में क्या है, आपकी नीयत क्या है, अल्लाह नोज दैट वेरी क्लियरली, राइट. हम यहाँ बैठ के we just did Zuhar namaz before this session. We know Allah knows what our niyyah was. Was it only just to finish the namaz, or was it to really give that time to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Right? That the niyyah that comes into play there. The niyyah to Allah basically means aap jo kar rahe, you're doing it with pure sincerity and pure genuinity and with faith to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? तो यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा, आप जब नमाज पढ़ रहे, it's not just you reading नमाज for the कि आपको जोहर पढ़ना है. आप नमाज पढ़ रहे because you want to stand in front of Allah and show him that you love him. That is why you are taking your time in praying that namaz. And when you have that in your mind, you automatically focus in your namaz. Your world becomes secondary and the namaz becomes your primary focus. So that is Naseehah, obeying and abstaining from obeying and abstaining from the forbidden. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has very mentioned, and we have talked about it in the previous sessions, Allah जो आपको forbidden कर दिया है and आपको जो allow करा है. So we keep away from the forbidden aspects of Allah. Now, not only Quran, this also comes into play of the Sunnah. So the Sunnah, the Quran में जो अल्लाह और जो रसूल हमारे को ये जो मना करे हैं, forbidden किए हैं, we stay away from that. This is all Naseehah to Allah. Doing the best to remember him. Another part of Naseehah कि हम लाइफ में इतने focused है with our life, are we genuinely remembering Allah in our prayers, or are we just reading namaz and we are all guilty of it? हम नमाज पढ़ते हैं, नमाज पढ़ लेना है, और यार फजर पढ़ना है, ज़ोहर पढ़ना है, असर पढ़ना है, पढ़ लेना है. But how many of us are truly doing it to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Right? That's a question that we have to ask, each one of us have to ask ourselves, कि how true are we to this ibadah? हम जब बैठ के कुरान पढ़ रहे, are we reading the Quran to understand the Quran or reading the Quran to complete the Quran? Right? Ramzan may be all focused in we shall finish one Quran, two Quran, three Quran. But how many of us are trying to truly understand the Quran? Right? Because we want sabab. अरे Quran finish कर दो, we get sabab. The point वो नहीं है. Point ये है, how true are we in doing this? Right? Then loving whatever he loves and hating whatever he hates. जो अल्लाह चाहता वो हम चाहना, जो अल्लाह नहीं चाहता हम वो नहीं चाहना. Right? So again, it comes down to sincerity, comes down to faithfulness, comes down to purity and genuinity. We covered taqwa, we covered niyyah, we covered the heart, we covered iman. These are all aspects that are part of Naseehah. Naseehah is where you mix everything together. आप अल्लाह से आप हर चीज आप अल्लाह के लिए कर रहे, right? Then appreciating the blessings that he has bestowed upon us. How many of us sit down and truly appreciate if we are able to talk? How many of us sit down and truly appreciate we are able to see? We take these things for granted. How many of us are sitting on a table, we can taste the salt, taste the food, what we eat? How many of us truly take that as a blessing? We take it for granted, right? Have we ever sat and said, oh Allah, tu hamare ko itti, you have given us the ability to taste food, ताकि we can tell us, it feels good eating it, right? These are all blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? हम यहाँ बैठ के, we are wearing the best of clothes, we have the best of houses, good cars to drive, हमारे बच्चे हमारे साथ है, we have we are able to talk, we are able to see, hear, smell, right? These are all the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And how many times do we really appreciate this? And we don't. That's the whole point of it. That is the unfortunate part of a man. He doesn't appreciate these things. He takes them for granted. We are all so busy, focused in our doing our worldly duties, responsibilities, life, we tend to forget these important parts. We many times we are focused in growing ourselves financially, having a bigger home, and all this. We tend to lose focus of what true blessings are, right? This is Naseehah to Allah. This is being faithful to Allah. Ki bhai, if you have given us the ability to talk and you listen to it, right? Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one basically through which मैं यहाँ बैठ के आपको बोल रहा हूँ. Allah मुझे हिदायत दिया to talk to you. Allah gave you the hidayah to take time on your Sunday and join and listen. This is all Allah's hidayah. This is all through Allah's will and Allah's blessing. Right? यहाँ बैठ के all of us are getting 1 hour of sawab. This is Allah's blessing upon us. Right? And we should appreciate these points. हम ये points को appreciate करना, and then and only then we will truly understand what Allah is all about. And that is the truly time that when we will truly change ourselves to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? The Sahabis, they understood this point to the T. That's why they could do it so well. The Sahabis, the Tabi'an, all the prophets they knew this by T. They knew exactly what Allah's blessings actually are. So they could truly do Allah's ibadah. Right? हम लोग बहुत गुनहगार लोग हैं. हम लोग, even if we are able to do a little bit of that and really appreciate what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, then we will really try to please Allah. That is what Naseehah to Allah is all about. It's trying to appreciate every blessing He has given us and be faithful to Him, be sincere to Him, and be pure to Him. Right? On a little bit of a sidetrack, we all of us sit and do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. अल्लाह हमारे बच्चों को अच्छी तौफीक दे, हमारे माँ को ये दे, हमें गुनाह से माफ़ कर, हमें अच्छी हमारे काम में इजाफा दे, काम में बरकत दे. We do all this, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said, and we do not know which dua of ours will be accepted. But when we ask Allah for guidance, Allah will give it to us. Allah is the one and hidayah doesn't come just like this by yourself. You have to seek hidayah. You have to seek the guidance, right? Allah may not give you the best job you have. Allah may not give you the interview you did. Allah may not give you a big house. But if you seek guidance, Allah will give you guidance. Allah says, "Tu ek step forward le, I will run towards you." Right? So Allah is saying to just ask me and I will give it to you. Right? It's about us with a full pure intention to ask Him. Right? And this comes into play when we truly have the faith, the Naseehah to Allah. Right? Now, next point, Naseehah to the book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala के बाद आप कर रहे Naseehah to the book, believing in Allah and in the book of Allah, the Quran. That is the सबसे pure thing in this world is the Quran that we have in our hands, right? इतनी बड़ी blessing है that the Quran है हमारे हाथ में, which has answers to every question, every problem that we have, right? सबसे बड़ी blessing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us through our Prophet sallallahu is the Quran. It is us to believe in it, to read it, to recite it, to practice it, to study it, to take lessons from it, right? And that can only happen when we are true to it. Again, the Naseehah to the book, being faithful to the book, being genuine to the book, right? Not just to take sabab by reading the book, right? To truly giving it the respect, the due that it has. We have to learn from it. We have to seek answers from it. Jabhi and Jabhi, then and then we will truly understand and we truly give the value to the book, Naseehah to the book. Okay. Right? अगर हम लोग, and small things like this, अब Quran है, where do we keep the Quran? We keep it in a place when we have, and there's a lot of debate about this, right? कि Quran जब पढ़ते आप, you don't, as long as you're clean, you're fine, right? Take the extra, go the extra mile, be extra clean, wear good clothes. You're giving the respect to a book of Allah, right? Keep it in a place which is respectful. Keep it, when you're reading it, read it with respect. Give it the respect it deserves, right? And we all do this. घर में बैठे हुए हैं, वजू करके आगे बैठ कर कुरान पढ़ लिए, वही हालत में पढ़ लिए and all that. We don't give it the respect it deserves. We all don't. None of us do. We should be doing that, right? We're all guilty of it, right? Sorry, I'm not being saying we don't. मतलब, I don't for sure, right? Sorry, I shouldn't be saying for this, but I don't for sure, right? And it's common. We're all guilty of it at some point of the other, right? But it should be given the true respect it deserves. That is the Naseehah to the book. Then comes Naseehah to the messenger, our Prophet sallallahu wasallam, right? Believing, and not only him, believing in all the prophets, believing in Isa, believing Isa alayhi salam, believing in Musa alayhi salam, believing in Ibrahim alayhi salam, believing in Nuh alayhi salam, believing in Adam alayhi salam. They all are prophets which we have to believe in. They all believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? And believing in the books that they have brought, in the Torah, in the Bible, in the Zabur, in the Quran, right? Our love for the Prophet ﷺ should be more than the love we have for our kids and us. He should be the more important. He should be the one we love more. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our love should go to our Prophet ﷺ. He comes after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? That is the love that we have to show towards him. Again, there is Naseehah to our messenger. Send blessings upon him wherever you get a chance to. जब भी मौका मिला आपको, आप दुरूद शरीफ पढ़ते रहो. Keep sending blessings upon him and his family. Right? आप जब दुआ पढ़ते, अब जब अज़ान होती, वो अज़ान के बाद जो दुआ है वो पढ़ो. That is a dua that is required if you want his intercession for you on the day of Qiyamah. Right? Love what he loved, hate what he hated. Again, this is Naseehah to the Prophet sallallahu wasallam, and revive his sunnah by learning, by adapting to his way of life. Right? He did small things, as simple as आप जब पानी पीते, sit and drink. It is sunnah of sallallahu wasallam. He would sit and drink water in तीन बार लेते थे, एक sip को लेके. Right? Small things like this, have them built into your love. Love our Prophet just because you want to love him, because he was the one who was loved by Allah. The Quran, the Sunnah, the Allah, our Rasul, the Quran is what we should be giving our lives to. They are the one we have to first love, then comes everybody else in our life. Right?